everyone, and welcome to the Music is Our Hero podcast, hosted by Grammy Award winner Drea Young. This is the spot where we celebrate creativity, share stories, and lift each other up in the arts. Each episode will dive into conversations that inspire, empower, and spark new ideas, because art isn't just about what we make, it's about the community we build together. So grab a seat, get comfy, and let's grow in creativity side by side. The Music is Our Hero podcast, where creativity, community, and inspiration come to life.
All right. We are in business.
All right.
I am here with Dave Cudrak today, who is the podcast man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been doing the music scene, right? That's what it's
the
called?
music scene. Yeah. I mean, guess technically the title is The Music Scene with Dave Cudrak, because there's like a bunch of different The Music Scene podcasts. So it's The Music Scene with Dave Cudrak, available everywhere.
Yeah, and how many episodes are you on?
I just uploaded 78. So it's been going on for a little over a year. Yeah.
Woo! And how do you feel?
Exhausted.
Yes. Well, we'll get into that. We'll get into the light at the end of the tunnel with a podcast is something else. But for now, we're going to talk about Dave, and I'm sure we will get there. I got to sit with Dave back in April.
Was that April?
Yeah, back in April. And he did a podcast with me. So now I'm sitting with him, and I'm super excited. He has a huge story. So I don't know if you just want to start talking and then see where it goes.
Yeah, let's do it. So yeah, I'm a musician. Well, I mean, I have a regular full-time 9-to-5 job during the day. But then on the weekends, I'm a solo acoustic cover musician doing the gigs out bars, wineries, breweries every weekend, just about every weekend, doing the acoustic covers of popular songs, you know. I also have like maybe 5 or 6 songs released on all the platforms. My most popular one to date so far is a song called Firm Grip. But yeah, I've been playing guitar practically my whole life. Started when I was 14.
And how long ago? How long ago were you 14?
Yeah, well, I'm 52 now, so whatever that math is.
So
like
the 80s?
Yeah.
Because I was the 90s, and we're about 10.
Yeah,
10
I was
years.
born in '73, so yeah, I started seriously playing guitar in the mid to late '80s. Yeah.
Did you have like a huge inspiration?
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I was an AC/DC guy.
Okay.
From day one. You know, like when I was in what grade was I? 3rd grade, I think. I was helping my dad actually install paneling in the house. You remember paneling that goes on the wall?
Like the wood?
Yeah. Well, now everybody's taking them down, but we were actually installing it way back then. And we were listening to the radio, probably WMMR. And AC/DC, Dirty Deeds, Done Dirt Cheap came on the radio. And I was like, what is this? And my dad was like, oh, this is some band AC/DC. And then the next day we were still working on the paneling and it came on again. I'm like, this is that song. And he's like, yeah. So then like a couple days later, we went to a department store called Clover and bought the cassette, Dirty Deeds Done. And I've been an AC/DC fan ever since.
And that's it. The rest is history.
Yeah.
So, okay, so you started playing guitar. Now, what did you do through the 90s?
Yeah.
Did you do music?
Was
that
little
a thing
bit,
that happened?
yeah. Like, so I took guitar lessons, but found them very boring. I taught myself a lot of like AC/DC riffs, and then like at some point, tablature was invented.
Right.
And that was like a game changer for me. I didn't really have any interest in writing my own music or anything like that. I just wanted to learn all the cool riffs to impress my friends. So I started learning like Metallica riffs and all that, and learned Stairway to Heaven because my dad was a huge Zeppelin fan. And just played as a hobby. My senior year in high school, me and some friends had a band, quote unquote band, but we didn't have a drummer, we didn't have a singer, so it was just 3 guys making noise in a basement, you know. And then I graduated high school and college came about. Well, yeah, I didn't do anything music related through college at all.
What'd you study in college?
Let's see. I changed my major a few times, but ended up getting an associate's degree in accounting and a bachelor's degree in economics. Very exciting stuff.
Right. Yeah. For a musician, yeah.
Yeah. I always thought that I was going to be like an accountant or something like that because I was the type of guy that just kind of did what he was told, you know? And my mom was like, you're good at math. You should be an accountant or something. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, and then one time when I was like 14, my mom at, no, not 14. I was a junior in high school. So however old that is, 16, 17, whatever. My mom had asked me, like, what do you want to do, like, with your life? It was like that old Twisted Sister music video. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. But I know it involves music or my guitar. And to my mom's credit, we didn't know anything about careers in music. It was either rock star or nothing. You know what I mean? Back then, like nobody knew. Nobody knew you could like do other things as a musician. You could be like a music teacher or study. I didn't even know you could go to college and major in music. I had no idea. So anyway, when I told my mom, I was like, I just want to do something with my guitar and music. She looked at me dead in the eyes and she's like, you're not good enough to make money playing music. And I was like, crushed. Like my soul was like crushed.
That kind of happened to me. I remember my mom told me like, I wanted to be a singer, but like I was always flat, like my voice. And it was the same. It was the same idea. Like, oh, guess I'm not going to do that.
Yeah. She was like, you're just not good enough. Like you're good at math. You're good at math. You're going to go to college and you'll do something with math, like maybe an accountant or something.
And plus parents, don't they get like worried about
of course,
their kids being artists?
Yeah, of course, So, and my parents, they did the best they could, but, my dad was an alcoholic. We lived with my grandparents. Like my parents were just broke,
Yeah.
So they wanted me to, I guess, make something of myself. And, so it is what it is. It all kind of worked out in the end though. So yeah, I mean, I went to college. I've got a decent job now. Was married a couple times, and during those marriages, like music just kind of went by the wayside, on my podcast.
So we're like probably like in the 2000s.
Yeah. So my first marriage was 2000 to 2004, no kids. And then when that ended, I started playing guitar again, but never sang. I was just playing guitar riffs again.
Playing the blues.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, pretty much.
That's how I was.
Yeah. And then I got married again in 2006. And then we had two kids, and, music wasn't a priority. So, put down the guitar for a good, 20 years almost. And then when that marriage ended, I found myself moved into my own apartment, had the kids half the time. So now I've got all this extra time on my hands. So what do I do? So I started playing guitar, and then I started getting more and more into it. And I was like, you know what? I think I want to like go out and like meet people and make friends. I kind of lost touch with most of my friends during my marriages.
Yeah.
So I was like, I need to go out and do something. So I went to an open mic, and before I went to the open mic, it was actually at what's the place on Sampson Street? Fergie's?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the first one I went to. And I was like, you know what? Nobody wants to just hear me play guitar. Like, so let me maybe try to learn some lyrics to some songs. And I had the hardest time singing.
So when was
playing.
this? Like
2000 and oh man, it wasn't even that long ago. 2021.
Yeah, because you know a lot of songs now, so that's why I'm asking.
Yeah, 2021 actually. January of was it 21? When was COVID? 2020.
That cracks.
Right? When was COVID? 2020.
What's COVID?
So yeah, right?
Yeah, 2020 until who knows?
So it was right after COVID I started again. I went to like my first open mic. It was like probably January of 2021, And then I learned how to play a couple of songs, and then I got like the bug. I got the itch. And I started going to as many open mics as I possibly could. And I had a rule that I never wanted to play the same song twice. So I tried to learn new songs each week, and thankfully I was successful at it. Yeah. But it was the only thing I was doing. Like when I didn't have my kids, all I would do was just play guitar and learn lyrics.
Yeah.
So I spent about a year or so on the open mic scene. And then I booked my first paying gig August 6th of 2022. I got my first paying gig at Core 3 Brewing in Clayton, New Jersey. And it's been a whirlwind ever since. I've got half of 2026 booked already.
It's crazy.
So yeah, it's been a pretty fun ride.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's great. Like, I mean, it's been there the whole time. So it's never too late. Kind of like your story kind of shows like the music was always there, but it wasn't time.
Right, exactly. Yeah, I wasn't ready for it. I didn't have the confidence for it. I never saw myself as a singer. Like I never, and
That's
then
crazy.
Yeah, and then I came off a stage at a couple open mics, and I was getting more compliments about my voice. Not that I'm like Adele or anything,
Right.
but like I got more compliments on my voice than my playing ability. And I was like, hold on, I've been playing guitar for 40 years. I've been singing for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And you're complimenting my singing.
Yeah. Yeah, but then also those compliments, that's kind of what drives you, right?
Absolutely,
It gets your chemicals moving, you feel good.
Yeah.
And that there's that high.
Yeah,
It's the best.
It's great. It's addictive. There's no other feeling like being on stage and people, and when I say stage, it could be the corner of a room. You know what I
Right.
mean? And just having people listen and watch and then clap at the end. What other job can you go to where people clap when you walk into the room?
Not many, I guess, when you put it that way. Cool. So yeah, and you're super busy. I mean, I obviously follow you and watch you, and I don't even know how. I don't know if you ever watch people's lives and you're like, how do they do it? Because on top of that, which we mentioned in the beginning, you started a podcast, right? So what inspired you, or like how did that all start?
So yeah, I being on the open mic scene and then having my own gigs, I've met a lot of musicians just in the area, and when I mean area, South Jersey, Philadelphia area. And there's so much talent in this area. Like I've become friends with people who are incredible musicians and artists and all that stuff. And one day I was just kind of talking to my girlfriend, Leanne, and I was just like, it's really kind of a shame that there's so much talent here, but nobody knows about it. You know what I mean? Like you never hear.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right,
That's
exactly.
the beginning of the end for your life.
Right, exactly. I mean, you always hear of like, in the 90s, it was the Seattle scene. In the 80s, it was the Hollywood, LA scene. Like all that. There's never been like a true Philly scene.
Yeah.
Unless you want to.
Well, in the 70s.
70s, yeah.
But,
American Bandstand, stuff like that,
And the whole sound of Philadelphia, like the Gamble and Huff. But yeah.
Right, yeah. So anyway, I was just like, there's no, it would be a shame. It's a shame that there's so much talent here and nobody knows about it. So I said, I'm just going to create a podcast. And, I don't know if it's going to go anywhere. I'm doing okay with monthly listeners, and I'm expanding. I'm casting a wide net when it comes to people I interview. But it's about 90% local artists, and then it's another place for them to promote their stuff, what they've got going on. But the most important thing is, I know personally, I get invested in other musicians, like when I know them, when I know a little bit more about them. And I was, and there could be the greatest musician in the world sending you a song, but if you don't really know them or emotionally invested in them in any way, chances are you're not going to listen to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? At least that's with me. That's my personality.
Yeah.
So I was
hard
like,
to listen to everything.
Exactly. Yeah. And there's so much of it out there. Anyway, so I figured if I have people come over to my place and they talk and they kind of tell their story, somebody listening might be oh yeah, you know what? I went through that same thing, and let me check out their music or let me go to their gig or whatever. So it's a way for people who may not have heard of this particular artist to really kind of get to know them, get a little emotionally invested, and maybe they'll support that artist.
Yeah, it creates that connection.
Yes.
And also with you, like that's how I feel too. It's like if I'm going to put somebody on this podcast, I need to know about them.
Right.
So it kind of like it's not that I don't want to know about everyone. It's just that you get caught up in your own life.
Absolutely.
And you do see all these artists at open mics and stuff, and then you just don't sometimes check them out, but the music's really good, and that's what we're doing this for.
Right, exactly.
It's for the indie scene, and it's like, so, so you're on you said 70 some episodes. So you're playing all the time. You have a full-time job, you're podcasting, and you have kids.
Yep, and a girlfriend.
Where do you find,
well, thankfully,
are you always...
I'm always moving.
Always moving.
Yeah. I mean, my schedule's a little bit crazy. Like I have my kids half the time, and their mom is still very much in the picture, and she's a great mom and all that stuff. So when she has the kids, never have to worry about them. You know what I mean?
That's good.
So anyway, like when I don't have the kids, I'm either doing interviews for my own podcast or I'm editing podcasts. Or I on the weekends that I don't have my kids, I book as many shows as possible. So like this weekend, the kids are with their mom, so I had a gig Friday night, I had 2 gigs yesterday, and I host an open mic every other Sunday. So I'll be going to open mic after this interview. So I try to cram a lot into very little time. And then, I've got my regular day job Monday through Friday. Luckily, I get to work from home at my day job.
Oh, okay.
So I don't have like a daily commute, which is great. Saves me a lot of time. I work, if I were going into the office, I'd have to go into Philly every day. So that saves me like an hour, two hours a day. When
the problem
we,
in my life, I have to commute a lot.
Yeah. When we were going into the office prior to COVID, I was commuting an hour and 15 minutes every day. So that's a lot of time. One way. So 2.5 hours a day. I'd be losing if I had to go into the office. So, thankfully I don't have to do that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Like my new car has, I don't know why it has this. It has like the time, like it has like the minutes you've been in the car.
Oh yeah. Yep.
It's ridiculous.
It's depressing.
Like I'll get gas and then I'll drive around a little bit. Next thing you know, it's like at 7 hours, and I'm like,
right,
7 hours of my life just wasted. So that's great. Yeah, that'll definitely free up. If you say 2 hours a day and then times that by 365.
Right.
Gives you time for a podcast.
It's a lot. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I mean that's and then thankfully Leanne is very understanding. She's also a musician, so she knows kind of what it's like to, how important it is to make time for gigs and practice and learning this and learning that. And, sometimes we write songs together or we jam together, or, one of the gigs I had yesterday, we played a few songs together. So we do, find the time. We also like to go to Nashville at least once a year. We're heading down there again for New Year's Eve. So we're going,
oh, cool.
Yeah, like we go on at least one vacation together a year, and we do a couple of weekend trips here and there. So we make the time when we can.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's great to have a supportive partner.
It's phenomenal, right? Like
it is phenomenal. Yeah.
She's like my number one
this
fan.
Isn't otherwise. I mean, obviously I do too, because I'm a nightmare. I'm a nightmare like you, except I do events. Right. So I'm like, it's like making flyers and doing this. I mean, it's just constantly on my computer.
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
it's crazy.
And I always think it's going to slow down.
Right.
Do you ever feel, are you like, oh, I'm just going to slow down a little bit, but nothing does?
Well, when I first started the podcast, I was like, I just got to pump out. I was trying to pump out 2 episodes a week.
Oh God.
Yeah, and it was brutal. It was brutal, and I did it successfully for maybe 6 months, and then
good for you.
Yeah.
You should get an award for that.
Yeah, right. But I really kind of burnt myself out because I was like, this is awful. Like I'm spending I'm spending all of my time just like editing podcasts and stuff. It was awful.
Because you have to though too, like so you're like,
you got to put out a half decent product, so you do have to spend some time editing, or you got to. I have a theme song that I wrote for it, and I have just like a still frame of like my title, whatever you would call it. So there is, even if I don't edit any of the conversation itself, there's still some editing that has to go on to put the package together. So I at one point I just got really, really backed up, and I had a vacation planned with my kids. Me and the kids went to Montana and Southern California for almost 2 weeks. It was
that was not too long ago.
Yeah,
right?
It was over the summer, and it was like it was a bucket list vacation. It was amazing. Yeah, it was awesome. So I told myself I got to get caught up with this podcast before I go on vacation, because the last thing I want to do is bring my laptop to vacation, quality time with my kids. So I managed to get out all my episodes and get them all caught up and stuff. And then after I got back, I was like, you know what? I'm not doing it anymore. Like, I'm not doing 2 episodes a week. I may not even do 1 episode a week. I'm just going to go at my own pace and get them out when they get out, because like, I'm doing okay listener-wise, but nobody's waiting with bated breath for the next episode.
Yeah. I feel like it depends on what your podcast is about. Like ours is music and the arts and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
But that's how I feel. Like, does anybody really care? Like, but like, if you're doing something that's like, I've listened to some podcasts that like self-help podcasts or like relationship help and stuff like that. It's like, okay, people are going to listen to that because it's helping.
Right.
That's why I want to get that's why I like to switch mine up and have an artist, and then trying to have something educational, and then so we'll see. Season 2, I got to start booking season 2. I don't even have anything in the books yet. But thank God for AI.
I know, right? I know.
I don't think I would do the podcast if there wasn't AI.
Yeah. The software I use has an AI component where it automatically makes the little social media clips.
Yeah.
So it's great because then I don't have to spend time doing that. I can just kind of.
How much is that? Riverside, or is that the other one?
It's called Riverside, and it's like $200 a year or something like that. But yeah, in my opinion, it's totally worth it because it's allowed me to interview people in Nashville or LA or whatever. And it also does like the automatic editing and on a few things and stuff. And it enhances the audio and stuff. So yeah, big shout out to Riverside.
Cave eventually. Yeah, right now I try to do everything as much, and I know it adds some time, but like as far as AI, I mean, I've always hated writing.
Right. Yep.
So I love the fact that I can sit down, just write my sentences, don't even have to be like too organized, and then it just is like, voila!
Yeah,
this great description, and I'm like, okay, now write a title. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't, because I'd be stressed out for like hours just trying to write a description.
Right,
that's how I feel.
I'm same way. Sometimes my descriptions aren't great, and then I'm like, sometimes I'll be in a rush and I'll be like, well, nobody's gonna read it anyway. Just put it out. You know what I mean?
I do know. Yeah, but then you're like, and then it all ends up being okay when you actually check it out. You're like, oh, this is actually, I don't have the audio. Riverside, I'll probably have to look into, because eventually I do need to get out. I mean, it is cool. Like, I am just in the Philly area. I always come and meet people, but eventually it would be cool, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as like the promo I'm putting, like I have mine, and then for like, I use edits, the Instagram app edits.
Yep.
But I also use Photoshop.
Okay.
So you can take video into Photoshop. So I take my video, and then you know how mine have like the black frame around it? That I drew in Photoshop, and then I throw the video into it.
Okay, cool.
Then I export that.
Nice.
And I put that into Reels. So it's a whole, like, even I have a lot of apps. Like, well, that's what I'm saying. I have a lot of stuff and equipment and software.
Yep.
So it's like, do I want to buy more software, or do I want to just do this?
Right.
And then when it's time to buy more. So I'm like, let me just use everything I have, because I have so much.
Right.
Like these $20 mics. You know, they're like, oh, go buy these mics.
They're doing
and I'm
the job.
like, whatever.
Yeah, they're doing the job.
Yeah, they're doing the job. Let's see where we're at. 22 minutes. So do you want to do any plugging? You want to?
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing I think for me as the type of musician I am is just to go follow me on social media, right? Find my podcast, listen to it. You can find me on Facebook. My main profile is just Dave Cudrak, Cudrak. I also have a Facebook page that's Dave Cudrak Guitar. I'm not really on that much.
That's another thing, all the socials, right?
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy, I mean, I take one video and I got to post it 6 different places, But yeah, I'm also on Instagram as Dave Cudrak Guitar, and then I'm on YouTube as Dave Cudrak. I'm reluctantly on TikTok as Dave Cudrak. I think Dave Cudrak Guitar on TikTok. Anyway,
I know. I even have an X, and I'm like, what am I doing?
Yeah, you could. Yeah, I had that for a minute, and then I was like, nope, I'm out. I'm out.
There's no point.
I got inundated with political posts like from day one, and I was like, nope, I'm getting rid of it.
It got like that.
Yeah, it was awful. Anyway, so
you have a website?
Yeah. No, I used to, and I think some of my social medias still say that I have a website, but it got expensive for hosting. It was like $30 a month, and like nobody was going to it. So so I was like, what's the point? So anyway, I might start it up again if I try to sell merch.
There's a way to utilize it, and there might be a way you can do like a smaller one and be cheap. I don't know. I don't know how it is now. I mean, I have mine, and it's like when I first started making my website, it was like $100 a year.
Okay.
Like 10 years ago.
Yep.
Now it's like $500.
Yeah.
But I also have a shop, like a merch shop on it. So I think that costs more. And then I also have an email address that goes with it. That's
nice.
a little over $100 a year.
Yeah. But that's good. You're collecting emails for like a mailing list. But I don't know if you ever use it.
I don't use it that much, but it's just to stay professional and stay with the vision, because there is a vision that's slowly going. So it's like, let me just have it all set up. But the email address costs as much as the website used to cost.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, the easiest way to find me is just Google me, really.
Do you have like a link tree or anything where all your stuff is under one?
Yeah, you can find that. I usually have a link to my link tree in all of my social medias, so like a lot of times I'll post like a advertisement for my podcast, and I'll just say link in bio. So you find that, it'll take you to my link tree. It's got all of my socials. It's got links to like my music my original music. It's got links to the podcast. It's even got a tip jar or something if you want to help contribute, because all of this stuff costs money. So it would be helpful if, every dollar counts.
It does. It does. So yeah, Dave, I think you're just a good example of like hard work pays off, because he is 52 and there's so many young musicians and that have access to a lot of things that we didn't have access to.
Yeah, like
as
energy.
kids.
Energy?
Well, so the energy that you're talking about is something I miss so much, because I try to make myself feel that because I run myself thin and I'm tired. I don't want to be tired because I want to just keep doing all this stuff that I do. I don't want to be tired. And I'm like, all right, just be that 16-year-old that but that 16-year-old wasn't getting anything done.
Right. It's so crazy.
But that energy of excitement and this, because it's it's not that I've lost that, because clearly, I'm very passionate about what I do. Maybe it's more passion. That energy. Because now I know, you got my whole story, in April, and it's I've kind of been, it's weird because I love this, but I've kind of been jaded. It's I've lost something.
Sure.
I used to, I would love to get back into when I was a kid, I would sit and just listen to music. I'd write the words down because I could never remember. And then learn the songs. And to this day, that's the only songs I know lyrics to. And it's crazy because I host karaoke. Right. And there's songs that I've been singing since 1994 and I still don't know the lyrics. I'm like, what is wrong with this?
It's crazy.
But you're a good example of, you always had the passion for music. It was always there.
Yep.
Trust the process. You didn't even know that this was going to happen.
No, this completely came out of nowhere. I went to an open mic as a way to make friends. Yeah. And I've got a whole second career out of it.
And that's something I was talking to with Trip, is those open mics will do that. They you go to one and you meet some people. Everyone's supportive. You get some compliments.
Yep.
And that gives you, and then it just snowballs and you go to another, and then next thing you know, you have shows.
Yep.
And all that stuff. So trust in the process and keeping at it. Kids, full-time job, podcast, original music. You got original music out there.
Yeah,
you said, right? And then the gigs. So you're doing great.
It's a lot of stuff, man.
It's a lot of stuff. And you don't drink, do you?
I do, but
a little bit.
Yeah, I've never had a problem with it. My dad was an alcoholic, and he passed away a long time ago. From alcohol. Yeah, he not that it matters, but I do kind of get a kick out of it. Sounds a little bit morbid. He passed away the same way that Bon Scott from AC/DC passed away, acute asphyxiation. So he was drunk, passed out. His body didn't realize that he was suffocating. It closed off his airway. He was too drunk to wake himself up. So he just passed away. Peaceful way to go, but it is what it is. So anyway, so my first,
and it's the same as I see what you're saying. Not funny.
I know. It's a morbid thing that I kind of get a kick out of. That because
that was how it all started.
Yeah, the lead singer of AC/DC, Bon Scott, the first one, he passed. He was basically too drunk to realize he was suffocating as well. So it's a little ironic maybe that AC/DC has been and always will be my favorite band. But anyway, So those things kind of, it did inspire me to write my very first song that's released. It's called I Miss You. And then I wrote and then my song that I mentioned before, Firm Grip, it's basically a song written from his perspective, because, with his alcoholism, I always just kind of thought about how it affected me and my mom and never really put myself in his shoes.
Yeah.
And he was kind of the inspiration for me playing guitar, because I would learn all these AC/DC and Led Zeppelin riffs for him when he came home from work. So long story short, one day I sat down and, I was like, my dad was never a musician, but if he was, what would his song sound like? So Firm Grip is a song as if he were singing. It's from his perspective.
Oh, okay.
And it gets quite a few compliments here and there. My friend Roger Tyndall,
check that out when I get in my car.
Please do. But my friend Roger Tyndall, who's out on social media all over the place, big supporter of local music. He just released his Spotify recap for 2025. I'm in his top 5. So it's pretty awesome.
That's amazing.
He's listened to my song like 2,500 times or something like that.
Oh, that's amazing.
So, something weird like that. Or maybe it's the hours, but whatever.
Yeah.
I was very flattered to see that. So yeah.
Yeah. That's awesome. Good for you. I don't even use Spotify. I'm on YouTube a lot, and my thing gets ruined because of karaoke.
I bet it
So
does.
there's this one guy that comes like every like a regular at the bar and sings like Creed every week. or sings. So my top are like
my kids
Creed karaoke songs. Like
my kids have demolished mine.
Yeah.
My top 5 has like K-pop Demon Hunters in it. And I'm like, damn it.
K-pop Demon Hunters is a good album.
It is, but I don't want to be in my top 5.
I got you. I know. That's how I feel about karaoke. I'm like, come on. But so is there anything else you want to share?
I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean that's
sums it up quickly.
Yeah, that's the high level. That's basically who I am, Make sure you're, anybody listening who does or doesn't know me, make sure you're checking out like my stuff and everybody else's stuff, Drea's stuff. I know you're doing a great thing for the community with the the open mic that you host and the Monday meetup and now the podcast and everything. So very happy.
Doing the same.
Yeah, super happy for you and like the success that you've had and Grammy winner over here. You were my second Grammy winner that I ever interviewed. So good stuff.
Yeah, all good stuff. Thank you though.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So I'm going to ask you the famous question that I ask everybody on this podcast.
Sure.
How do you feel that music is your hero?
So I actually have kind of 2 answers for this, and I did think about this.
Did you know about the
podcast? Yeah, because I listened to your episodes.
Yeah, so it's funny because when I first started this podcast, no one knew that was coming. But I feel like recently people are prepared for the final question. Yeah.
No, I put a little bit of thought into it. So it really kind of, I used to make a joke and sorry for the younger crowd, but Twisted Sister was a big influence of mine when I was younger, right? I don't know if anybody remembers those old videos that they had, but it was amazing. I was in like 8th grade when they first came out. And maybe younger, middle school probably. 5th grade, 6th grade. And anyway, their kind of theme was always about kind of like the underdog being okay, and I was bullied a little bit in middle school. So once I kind of heard the lyrics that like, and what Twisted Sister was more or less preaching, it made me feel like I had like an ally, like I wasn't alone. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. So if it wasn't for like Twisted Sister and a couple other bands, like I'm not sure I would have made it through high school, because it was, middle school was pretty rough for me. And then, so that's kind of answer number 1, because it made me feel like I wasn't entirely alone. I could just put on an Twisted Sister. You said
a lot of stuff was their music. There was about bullying.
Yeah, like it was. So they have a song called SMF. It stands for Sick Mother. And all of their fans are called SMFs, and it was like a family. It was all about positivity, and if you were being bullied, it was like you're not alone. You're all part of our family. F those guys, you're part of our family.
Yeah,
and that's the message that I got from them, and it was great, and it really kind of helped me put myself into perspective. Like, I don't have to worry about what Dennis and Leonard are doing. Believe it or not, I had a bully named Leonard. Anyway, So
Leonard.
Yeah, so
where are you at now, Leonard?
Yeah, right. Well, I know Dennis is dead, so there you go.
Dead Dennis.
Anyway,
not funny. Sorry, whoever's related.
Sorry, not sorry.
Sorry, not sorry.
Anyway, but then later on, like after kind of life happens to you, and music took the side stage for me, right? 20-year hiatus, whatever it was. When I got into it again, it was my hero again, because it kind of saved it. I don't want to say saved my life. It's, that's overly dramatic because I was fine, but it really helped me find like who my real self was. Because, I don't know about you, but when I'm in relationships, or when I used to be in relationships, the old me, I've gone through years of therapy as well. But prior to like therapy and stuff, old relationships, I would just kind of take on the personality of whoever I was with. Music, as well as therapy, has helped me find kind of like my true self. You know what I mean?
Back to that person. That fell in love with AC/DC.
Exactly. Yeah. I learned how to be an adult version of my 10-year-old self.
Yeah.
And it's there's no place else I want to be. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's awesome. All right, well, good answer. I love that. Nice and prepared.
Thank you very much.
All right, cool. So I don't think I have anything else, and you got to get ready for this open mic.
That's right. Yep.
And yeah, so make sure you check Dave out. When are you in Newtown again?
I actually don't have any dates with them. I just finished up my last one, and they're all
until next year, maybe?
Well, they're all booked for 2026. Believe it or not. So maybe I can get something at Shady Brook Farms or something. We'll see.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I will. I will.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for taking the time. I know
Thank
you're
you
a busy
very
guy.
much. I appreciate it.
That's it.
Thank you.
Until next time, keep creating, keep connecting, and keep building together. Remember, we're in this together, so let's keep each other's shine alive.